And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ysn Power Hour. It is a Wednesday edition, and here we have, well, we got Betos in the middle for some reason now, but we'll start. DJ Oakley here, Ty Bartell to the right on my screen, Mac, and then you got Jamie Thompson. EB is down there. There he is. And then you have Muncie and Quinn hold it down in the G. Burbick Farm Studios. Gentlemen, how are we today?
Back to work.
Doing good. Ready for business.
Ready?
EB only comes on the show anymore with a tie on.
Because he's all business.
Just business, baby.
Just business, baby. It's business.
James Bartell saying nice intro. Love the Vindies. So do we. Coach Seidel saying LFG. Awesome new intro. Thank you very much. And we got Glenn Laniger saying, let's go Steelers. How about it's about time, Steelers? Holy cow, it feels like we haven't played in a year and a half. And today, 3:40, right in the middle of this show, we will be playing. Oh, sorry, Mac. Maybe you can go sleep in the COVID confines of Cleveland right now. So enjoy that, because all these jokes and poking fun at the Steelers and the Ravens, you guys are next. So
if we don't play rest of the game, the rest of the year, we have a winning record. And we should
now you're on that train. Now you're on that train.
And we should be automatically into the Super Bowl.
Oh, is that the train you're on?
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. I think you just are scared of losing. Like, I think that's what this whole Baker Mayfield thing is
I hate Baker.
Hate Baker. You're terrified of losing.
I would throat punch Baker.
Well, as long as it's not in a Cheesecake Factory parking lot, you should be pretty safe. So, all right. Let's get to the National Day at hand. This is the best we got, boys. National Package Protection Day. And was talking to Mac before the show. I mean, is anybody nervous about like a big like expense, like a PS5 or an Xbox or something like that? Like, does it bother you, like, in the back of your mind, like, that somebody might steal your package? They call them porch pirates now, but are you worried about something like this happening on a something maybe you get from the North Pole?
Yep, sure am. Listen, there is truck drivers that they're basically stealing your stuff right now, and it happens every Christmas, every holiday. People ordering a lot of packages online and getting shipped to their house, but it seems to be pretty bad this year with so many things being delivered to your house anymore. I mean, you never know what some of these boxes are. You hear about them all the time. People taking the pictures, sending it to Amazon. Hey, your package is arriving, and then they just take it and go back to their truck. So it's a good thing to have that protective package there.
We'll address this right quick. Jet Louise saying, is anyone doing the West Branch versus Alliance game tonight for girls? Thanks, we are not. The game is in Alliance, which is out of the YSN family of school districts, so we will not be doing that game. When they make it back to West Branch, we'll have them, and of course when they play Salem, we'll have that, and all eyes will be on that. So thanks for the question, Jet. Kate says, I thought you meant a man's package?
That's why I was smirking. You like we were talking to Billy beforehand. I'm like, oh, what were you guys talking about? I was like, uh-oh. But
oh, boy.
Leave it to Kate.
It's all about package protection, boys. Make sure you have your cup on at all times. Michael Fabian says, speaking of cheesecake, anyone go to Colorado lately? Nope. And Mark says, is that like a cup? See, I thought maybe we might be able to sneak past with the cup jokes.
I tried to lead it off. To give us the direction.
Package protection. Yeah, we were not. And Carrie's thinking the same thing. So
two dirty minds. Those women have dirty minds.
I guess, I mean, we don't think about Christmas anymore. We just think about dudes' junks. That's the way it goes. I guess that's the way things happen here on the Power Hour. So National Package Protection Day. Fantastic. Just fantastic. Complete sidecar right away, right off the jump. So I appreciate
Bubble Wrap Day would have been. Then we could have talked about protecting our Christmas things. If it was Bubble Wrap Day.
You still don't know what it is, what we're talking about, do you?
Yeah, I do.
It's insurance for your deliveries.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like the boxes and bubble wrap and things like that. Not like buying insurance, no.
What are you talking about? Like, it's package protection. Like, are you worried about your package that is being dropped off on your doorstep taken away? Like, that's package protection. There's no insurance to it.
Are you scared of your package?
Yeah, I thought
Your daughter is explaining to you what we were trying to talk about. How old is she?
She's 10.
There it is.
I could get what you mean, though, Paul, about the bubble wrap and everything.
Yeah, I mean, package
I wouldn't have
protection.
said that.
Protect your package.
That
Bubble
wouldn't have
wrap,
been my first thought process.
styrofoam, little styrofoam peanuts. You know, I mean,
I wouldn't have gone to that first, but I understand what you mean. But
yeah,
Wait, did DJ just pull a Mac?
yeah.
he
He
just
just got up,
bounced.
walked away.
he walked
listen,
out.
He's the one that picked
Well,
that. There had to be
Because
something
Evie's
better.
the only one dressed professionally. I think he should just take over the show.
What's our next topic, Evie?
It's a great question. So let's talk about WNBA teams.
Oh, no.
Not again. Not again.
Now look, there are 4 things on the National Day: Fritters Day, National Mutt Day. We all got a mutt.
No, I don't. I have a purebred. 2
All
of
your
them.
dogs are purebred.
Yep.
Everybody's had a mutt at one point, probably.
I've never had a mutt. You say everybody. I've never had a mutt. All purebreds.
You've always had purebred dogs.
Yep.
Rolling high class over there, Billy.
I mean, like Steve just said, I'm the total package.
Pass.
All right, let's get to some sports. Gosh, I tried to pull the walk off like Billy yesterday. It didn't work out well for me because you guys can't do a show.
Well, it'd probably work better if you walked into a room that the exit to that room didn't go on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, I know. It's not good. Not good. Didn't work out well. An impressive night on YSN last night. We had, 5 games? 1, 2, 3, 4 games. I apologize. 4 games. We had Louisville and St. Thomas Aquinas. We had West Branch and the Academy of Urban Scholars. United versus Louisville, Springfield versus Salem, and Struthers versus Keel. We did have 5 games. All right. So that being said, got a chance for the first time because my game got canceled. The East Liverpool versus Edison game. Got a chance to listen in on each and every one. Wow. First off, can I say how impressive our announce teams are? But the camera work in the Springfield game was off the charts. One-man band in it. Down in Springfield, and I'll tell you what, James, it was impressive. You guys have like fade-ins and fade-outs. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome.
I mean, I try my hardest, when I have to do the camera. We had a cameraman at Hubbard with us last season with all the basketball, so it was different for me doing the basketball camera, but when I do it, man, I take pride in it. I'm like, people are watching it right now. I can't just have it be stagnant. I got to put effort into it. So, I mean, I was trying my best. I'm glad to hear that it was all right. Because there were times where I was kicking myself. I'm like, oh, man, I'm doing a poor job.
What people don't realize is you're basically doing combo play-by-play and color commentary with Romo, and you're running camera at the same time, and you're probably doing a little bit of this, like looking down to make sure you're announcing the right kid. Or student athlete. I shouldn't say kid. That's not appropriate. But, it's one of those things. People don't realize how difficult it is to do all of those things in succession and still make it look like it's good. Like it's a professional production. So I tip my hat to you because I'm watching like, wow, this is impressive. This is next level stuff.
Hey, thank you. I tried my hardest. And, yeah, usually I run the scoreboard and the microphones too. So I had to let Romo take the reins there. So every once in a while I'd like glance over and make sure he wasn't getting off track. So it was a lot, but it was a lot of fun too.
I think I'm about to take Jamie next time I do all my games.
You don't get to pick. You're still a rookie. You get Jeff. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Hey, squad.
You guys don't even know each other's names. It's hilarious. We proved it yesterday. I waited with that question forever just for him.
And you got it wrong.
Because we knew it would happen. We knew it would happen.
Look at Quinn. Like
He's so pissed about it.
Struthers and Canfield, great job. That was Richie Giuliano. Lots of love to Richie last night. But again, guys, to be able to just flip between games, I mean, it's still cool for me. So I can only imagine how parents and student athletes feel. Coach Comlank out at Warren JFK was had a Google Meet, I think, with his whole team last night, and they watched the Struthers Canfield game. I mean, it was a pretty cool experience to watch everybody watching the network and posting it publicly, from that standpoint. So when I say an
That's
impressive
pretty
night,
cool.
on YSN, you look at this and you're like, wow, this is stuff people usually put, major networks, and here we are, the only ones basically in the building that are doing it. So
I wonder if some of those Trumbull County teams, obviously Kennedy's doing it, but I wonder if some of those other Trumbull County teams are doing the Google thing, and then everybody's kind of hanging out watching the games, watching games from the area around, just to at least get film rep. I mean, even though they're going to play some of those teams in the Mahoning Valley eventually.
There's I forget what it's called on Facebook, that you could do like a group thing, and you can actually put your video in, like you can stream it live with, or is it a party? I forget what they call it. It's something weird. But wouldn't it be neat to be able to have like us, if we all had a night off, which is going to be tough because we're the ones that are usually doing the games. But if we all had a night off, do a party, and people could like get our feedback to the games as we watch them, kind of like a power hour party on Facebook Live. So, I mean, that's something that we constantly trying to, stoke the fire, stoke the flame, keep people excited about it. But I was thoroughly impressed. I was impressed with the level of basketball given the short time span that they've had to practice, especially Springfield last night. Both run
I think
card.
there's a way we can do that, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They could do it with Ackelson and Nick.
Oh yeah. You're talking about Facebook Live.
Yeah, we could have one of our guys sit in there with Ack and Nick and have them join in the back room.
It's not a bad idea. Something to think about, something to grind through. So, yeah. Let's. I mean, keep it churning. I saw that every time we put and I don't know if it's just because we have admin rights on the YSN page, but every time that there's a YSN game on, it says start a party, and I'm like, one of these times I'm just going to press yes and see what happens. Because who doesn't want to start a party? Will Smith party starter. So yeah, I mean, it's seeing the comments, seeing social media explode last night, both on Twitter, on Insta, on Facebook. It was really cool to sit back and just watch it and see, like, I mean, Jamie and Romo got a ton of love, most of it from Billy Mack, but their number one fan. I'm surprised there's no Romo and Jamie posters on your wall in your room, Mac.
I promote us, period.
I know. I thought it was fantastic. You were promoting it. Did you do it on WFMJ's Facebook page too?
I might have.
They said, "What did you do for a snow day?" And he said, "I watched YSN all day." And tagged us in the thing. Like I got a text message from somebody that works there this morning that said, "Who is Billy McCartney and why is he tagging YSN saying he watched you guys all day?" I said, I'll explain later.
Listen, they asked a question. I answered the question. Period. I let everybody else in there know that follows WFMJ. They should follow YSN.
Steve says he's available for filming. The last time
only for Middle Ridge games.
The last time that Steve filmed a game for us, we had to defend his honor on Twitter because what was it, a gorilla with a camera? I don't know. Steve's not. I mean, again, we said this in football season. What do you want us to do? Like we're two announcers that are usually used to talking. Most of these production companies have people that are just camera or just directors or just do this. Our guys do it all, and sometimes you just can't catch up with it. So Mac needs a Romo and Jamie Fathead. We can make that happen. That happen. I thought when he typed that out with Mac in capital letters, I thought he was talking about the MAC because I've seen it so much in the last 2 weeks that it makes me want to puke. Can I have a real confession since we don't have a ton to talk about today? For the last week, up until Sunday night, I have had nightmares about the state championship in Springfield every single night. Every single night. Like something wrong happened in my dream every single night, Jamie, and it was been freaking me out. Every night at 4 o'clock, I wake up. in this sweat, just like something wrong, and most of it comes from the same territory. So, I don't know. Is it bad? Is that like something I should be concerned about? Should I go talk to a doctor about that?
I don't think so. It's just something you can't avoid, man. I'm in the same boat. I feel like anybody that was around Springfield the entire year, you're kind of just, you feel the exact same way. It's heartbreaking. You can't get away from it.
I can't. I mean, listen. We invest ourselves in these teams. Nobody knows it more than you and Romo and the guys on this call. But for me to have nightmares about it, there's an issue there. There's a deep something deep inside me. There's an issue. So hopefully we can get it figured out. Why are people? I feel like Paul Munson. Why are you calling me at 3:00 on a weekday? You know where I am. You know exactly where I am. Steve wants the Power Hour Fatheads.
That's right.
Munson, can you make that happen?
I already got one.
It's the South Range birthright to have a big head, right? You,
Yes, that's
Schuster, and Jeff. Jeff almost couldn't put
Jeff's
on
got
the
big
actual Raider head because his head is so big. That is a true story.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit inside the helmet.
Dr. Burbick is in the building.
Yep.
Well, he ain't diagnosing my meat, so we're gonna pass on this one. We're gonna pass on Dr. Burbick this time around.
He's just saying that steaks will cure everything.
I would believe. Have you ever had the bacon from Burbick's? Unbelievable.
Have you ever smoked the bacon from Burbick's? Whole new level. Melts in your mouth. It's like candy.
I don't smoke meat, unfortunately, to this point. It's just this doesn't happen. We have completely derailed. Let's get back to
It all started with your package protection day, and it just
I was on the right track. You perverts went sideways with it, and it was the girls that did it the most. How about a YSN cardboard cutout like you see at baseball games? The Betos cutout would be a bestseller. I don't know. I'm just going to put this out there. According to the Munson girls, if we put out a shirtless Jamie Thompson cardboard cutout, I'm pretty sure it would sell out, and then all of them would end up at the Munson house.
I wouldn't even buy that. No.
Just him flexing like this.
cowboy hat on. Hey.
There it is.
Hey, I
If
mean,
we
Cowboy hat-
did a Betos cardboard cutout, could we do where you like push a button and it talks? Like, here's the trick.
Told you. I told you.
You got to get the calendars with Jamie wearing a different prop for each month, and then
We can make that happen. That can happen. The YSN calendar. Oh man, that would be nuts. I love it.
I got to start working out.
Cowboy hat and the musket. Oh boy. And Carrie's a photographer, so you know she's gonna keep a couple of those pictures for herself. She'll put those back pocket. So let's go to Carrie. While you have a chance, why don't you give a plug to your business on here, and we'll throw it up for you. I like that, a calendar, YSN calendar, but I like the Betos one. Only EB, go to your mute thing, your mute screen. It has to be this picture. Like it has to be.
That's January right there.
Start your year off right.
Here's the trick. No, happy Halloween.
Keep your New Year's resolution right there.
You gotta put up like the motivational like posters, like
have everyone put
motivation.
Have the 12 have a quote from each YSN person, and then Jeff says January.
Morning beacon photography.
Don't be brash.
That's not.
That's the first. Don't be the first quote of the year.
I don't have any brashes. All right, Quinn. What month would you be in the calendar?
I don't know.
I don't give a
Obviously, the most
worry.
important one.
February because it's the shortest amount. I don't know.
I almost said something, but I knew that the short joke would come in. February is my birthday month. Because I knew where you were going to go with it. I knew where you were going to go with it. just makes me that much more rare, boys. That much more rare. So, from the first, I mean, a lot of you guys got to kind of watch the games last night. What were you most impressed with? Who were you most impressed with? Springfield continues to stand out because, I mean, they've had less than a week to get ready for a game, and like I talked Salem up big time last week, and I still think they're going to be a good team. And Springfield really put it to the Quakers last night. Who were you impressed with? We'll just go around the horn. If you watch games, if not, don't worry about it.
For me, yeah, personally, that was the only game I really was able to watch this past week was Springfield, and I really wasn't expecting them to be as good as they were, and I think they were really surprising too. From the parts of the game that I did watch, I thought Springfield did a really good job, and I think it's going to be fun watching them going forward for sure.
Did anybody catch any of the West Branch game last night?
I tuned in for like a minute, which I've honestly been. I know West Branch has lost a lot in the past couple of years, especially last year. They graduated a lot. I don't know much about the school that they were playing, but to come out and that's what who'd they beat the other day?
South Range.
Yeah, South Range by double digits, which that was shocking. And then also, I tuned in there up by it was a 10-point lead to a 20-point lead real quick. So I feel West Branch is they're going to be right in there. I think that whole conference is going to be pretty tough to where there's not going to be a clear cut. And, Salem was right there with Springfield. And I didn't expect Springfield to come out like they did because they really didn't skip a beat from last year how they ended. And Salem had a couple chances to close the gap, but they'd get it under 10, but then they couldn't get that shot to fall to really get momentum. And then the lead got up to about 11, and there was a technical foul, which that was 4 shots in the ball, and Springfield capitalized on that real quick and made it a 18-point game, with no time off the clock. And I think that was a huge turning point because they were kind of going back and forth and trading baskets. And then it was just a huge momentum shift. And Springfield kind of, they did what they had to do. I thought, Salem is going to be good and they have the pieces. And I thought Salem definitely going into that game had as good a chance as anyone playing Springfield right away. Some of the shots that fell from the night before didn't fall last night.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch the West Branch game for a few. First off, the announcers who haven't even been properly trained through the YSN boot camp program. Michael was fantastic, and I apologize. I haven't been formally introduced. I know he's a Westminster guy, but I'm excited to get him because he was so sharp. He's already got what it takes to be an announcer. But you look at West Branch on the floor, they look good. They look really good. And as Aaron pointed out, they're deep. I just feel like their bench continues to get stronger. They're not missing much whenever they sub guys in and out, where usually from an announcer's perspective, when they start subbing people in and out, coaches do that, you can start seeing a little bit of momentum shift one way or the other, unless it's at the end of the game when they're just trying to get some guys some minutes. But West Branch they were beating inside, outside. They were making their free throws. The defense was crisp. It was incredible to watch them play last night. And then I flip over to Struthers and Canfield, and that's 2 really good programs going head-to-head. And Struthers is everything as advertised. I mean, first off, Richie did a fantastic job with that game. But secondly, they're going to be good. They're going to make a deep run, if I had to guess. So it's going to be really fun to watch. A lot of these teams in basketball. For us, the hardest shift is from football to basketball season because it's such a game changer. You go from high intensity 1, maybe 2 nights a week to trying to spread it out and almost maintain a level throughout the entire week. So it was fun last night to see it. Looking forward to announcing the official starting date of the Open Look with Mike Ackelson, Nick Zeronis, and some of our new coaches. We're going to have somebody sit down in the coach's seat each and every week, whether it's Coach Brazil or a couple coaches. We tried it out with Coach Bell in football season, and people seem to like it. So we're going to keep a rotation going and have it. So what are you looking at, Mac?
EB. Put EB in that chair.
EB's
He's a
always
coach.
welcome. EB's always welcome.
With the tie.
Usually a little bit busy, but he's always welcome. So, I mean, EB is YSN. So that's as
Quinn
easy
too.
as I can
Well,
put it
Quinn
out there.
plays on those nights, so
Quinn enjoys talking a lot of times, so we like to keep him.
God,
Sit down.
get like a big King James throne chair. He'll be there.
I think
He'll
what
be
we'll
there
do
every
is
week.
we'll just have him write on a whiteboard and on a grease board so he can get his thoughts across properly. Quinn, who were you most impressed with watching last night? I know you were at practice, but I mean, did you get to see any of the games on Facebook or anything?
Yeah, we were watching in the office, me and Huxhold. We watched the United game. Lowville looked good. Lowville looked really good. United didn't look bad either, honestly. It was a good game. I know the score was a little bit more lopsided, I guess, than expected, I guess. But it was two good games, and then I was flipping through watching Struthers and Canfield play. Struthers is very good. Struthers looks one of the best teams I've seen so far. So
They didn't lose a whole lot, did they?
I don't think so. No, I mean they lost. I think
Well, they lost. That's good, Ryan.
They lost
they
the
did.
one kid that went to YSU, but their
Yeah.
bench.
Metzger's still there, I think.
I didn't see him last night.
Metzger and Ryan were. I mean, Ryan's the kid who went to YSU,
Yeah.
right?
Ryan
was the 1,000-point scorer.
Yeah, and
Ryan.
Metzger, that's just runs in the family. It's
Stud.
Run and gun shooter.
Jamie, from the Springfield side, obviously you had your hands full with Romo last night. Talk to me about what you saw in the Tigers. And also, I mean, on the other side of the floor, too, Salem, not a bad basketball team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. My hands are always full now with Romo. He's a lot to handle, but it was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, I kept talking about it on the stream. Springfield going from football straight into basketball. It's a small school. A lot of the kids that play football also play basketball, same ones that play baseball. So you had Clay Medvec and Bo Brungard out there. They both played football, were big parts of that team. They came in. They were starters. They're returning starters, but the two ones that really stood out for me for Springfield were Alex Rothwell and RJ Smith. I mean, they combined for 40 points. They didn't start last year. They contributed, but they've made a huge step coming into this season. I mean, Rothwell, he's about 6'4". He dominated down low. It was definitely fun to watch. And then for Salem, Drew Weir. I mean, he had 21 points. He's a great player. They've got a lot of size, a lot of length to him. They're running different types of zones, 2-3s, 1-3-1s. I think Salem has a lot of promise there. I mean, EB talked about it. Like, we saw them play last season at Hubbard, and Hubbard beat them. Salem, they hung around a little bit, but it seems like they're going to take a huge step in their program. And for Springfield, they won, I believe, 5 or 6 conference championships in a row just a few years back. So I think they're looking to get back on the top of the MVAC. It used to be, what was it, the ITCL?
Yep, ICCL.
But I think they're going to be right there at the top of the conference. I believe it was Coach Seidel. Yeah, he said top to bottom, one of the best conferences in the Valley. Springfield's right up there.
I'm excited to see how this goes. Again, a huge night last night for us on YSN. The numbers still kind of rolling in from last night. That's how many people were tuned in. Also want to let people know tonight on YSN, you've got some pretty decent basketball games, especially on the girls' side. You got Poland versus Salem, which I think is going to be an unbelievable matchup. EB, obviously, you have a little bit of bias in this one, being on the Salem coaching staff, but this could be a really, really good showcase, not just for to start the season, but a good look of where you're stacking up right now, and a good, if you win, a good launching point for 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Poland's been one of the top teams in the area for years. And they definitely have one of the top players around here in Jackie Grisdale. I mean, there's nothing short of great about that girl. She can shoot. She has a high IQ. She's just a well-rounded player, and it's not just basketball. It seems like everything that she does, she's pretty damn good at it. And their coaches over there, both of them do a great job. Everyone's bought in. They run a tight ship, and they've set a standard for girls basketball, really. I think a lot of teams around here tend to there's 3 or 4 teams you start to compare yourself to when you want to be the standard, and I would say Poland's definitely up there. I mean, you get Poland, you get West Branch, McDonald, Western Reserve. There's 4 quality programs. So to be fortunate to be playing games, one, is awesome, and to be able to travel to Poland and play them, I think it's going to be a good measuring stick for us. I feel pretty confident. With our players, we have some good talent. We worked hard, so we'll see what happens and what happens when that final, I guess, horn blows. But I know our girls are excited to play them. I'm sure it's their home opener, so I'm sure they're excited to play as well. And to hear that no one's really known what's been able to happen or is going to happen, well, we're just we're not taking it for granted.
Without making this a coach's corner, EB, I know you love, to raise up your girls, especially here on YSN on this platform. We don't want you to brag because that's not the kind of guy you are, but who do we expect to be a real showcase talent here in this game, particularly against Poland for Salem?
Well, for Salem, you got to go with the person who's probably been the most consistent and a well-known person around here, Kyla Jamison. She's everyone knows who's Kyla. She's a 4-year starter. Me personally, I'm going to sit here and name 9 girls because if not all 4, and even from there, I'd name the whole squad because I think our practices are probably some of the toughest around. Another name that people are starting to get used to, Abby Davidson. She's a sophomore. She's on the rise. She had a great freshman year. Annie Davidson does a great job. Casey Johnson's another 4-year starter. You throw in Livy Davidson. I feel like I just could say Davidson, and it covers 4 different people. So do that. Cami Rome, another sophomore. You have Riley Hutton, who's a freshman. I mean, realistically, there's 8 or 9 girls who bust their butt, if not more. Deeper than that, Krista Barley does a great job. Jenna McClish, she controls and runs a floor well. It's hard to pick any one. Probably the most typical person you're going to hear and that you have heard for the past 3 years is Kyla Jamison, but it's not just her. And as much as the stat sheets show, she's the point getter because she just has been. All she cares about is winning, which is what I love about her. She doesn't care how many points she has, how many rebounds. At the end of the day, it's who is the team on top with the most points. And as long as it was her, that's all she cares about.
What's the motto for the Salem Quakers lady basketball team this year, EB?
Back to our roots. So we talked about that, and we've had some good talent, and Salem's had some great teams in the past. So we want to get back to our roots. We want to be, I guess, trying to think how Coach Hamilton, and you guys will get to hear her on Friday on Running Point, but she was on some of the great Salem teams, and there's no one better to sit there and lead us other than someone who's actually done it. So we want to get back to those roots, and that's where we want to be.
Love it. We're going to take a break. We come back. We have some stuff to talk about, namely this team that I'm wearing right now, as well as the Ravens. Seems like as of right now, the game is going to happen, but it's going to be minus some key players on both sides. We'll talk about that. Is the game even worth having? And we'll talk about how the COVID continues to kind of ramp up through professional and college sports. All that and more when we return on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is here, so it's all hands on deck to make sure your plans still meet your needs for 2020.
Call us today.
Friday night, it's fresh limousine. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, like I'm living the dream. Platform shoes, strut down the street. It's gonna get hot here, I hope you can handle the heat.
Over the years, you watched us grow, and as we've grown, so has the Myers Family Insurance team.
Thanks to all of you who have trusted our families to help you with your Medicare needs.
Myers Family Insurance looks forward to helping you now. For years to come, so call our family today and remind them how cute we are.
Myers Family Insurance continues to be the area's resource for all your Medicare and retirement needs. Call today, 330-286-3044.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the YSN Power Hour. As we were on break, got some text messages saying that Browns fans going to be rooting for the Steelers today. So that's very interesting. And naturally, Michael Page chiming in saying, it pains me that I have to root for the Steelers today. Right on cue, MP. Billy, are you doing it? Are you rooting for the Steelers?
I will never root for the Steelers.
All right, so let's go to another Browns fan. Let's go to Quinn Pushkar, or Puskar, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
No, I will not root for the Steelers. I will not root for the Ravens. But, I mean, if I had to pick, I'm going to pick the Steelers. It helps the Browns in more ways than Baltimore beating Pittsburgh does. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth, but I'll never say.
If the Steelers don't win this game, they stink.
Nope.
RG3's playing quarterback for the Ravens.
Doesn't matter.
This is the Steelers' luck. They get to play the Jets 12 times, and then they get the Ravens team that doesn't even have their quarterback.
Hey, raise your hand real quick if you beat the Titans. Okay. So you play them on Sunday, so good luck. So
we haven't played the Titans.
You play them on Sunday.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, make sure you rewind this, and you can raise your hand, or I don't know, not, whenever you beat the Titans on Sunday. Okay.
We'll just have COVID. We're not going to beat the Titans. We have Baker Mayfield.
Just saying. Just say you say we have these different. We have this same exact schedule, Billy.
No.
The same.
We
exact
played like
schedule.
the Rams. We played Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Green Bay. We've played all these teams.
You get
Damn
some
right.
love. Denise Kurlick saying, "Way to go, Billy." As a Browns fan, I'd never cheer for the well, it says Skeelers. They're missing a U.
Sorry.
In there either, but I know where she was going with it. Jeff Beto saying, Billy said on Monday's show that he hopes the Steelers win by 30.
I did. Because of the COVID stuff.
So
because of the keep pushing back.
Ipso facto, you're rooting for the Steelers. So thank you. Appreciate that.
But, I mean, here's the thing about what's today. Today is Wednesday. I changed my mind. It's America.
That it is. I mean, is there general interest in this game? Because as we said
at 3:40
Monday, yeah, 3:40.
I'm watching it. Everybody should be working or getting off or getting close to getting off.
Well,
watch the YSN.
it's on
watch
right
EB
now.
tonight.
It's on right now. It's 3:40. So
I'm going to watch EB tonight over the Steelers. They played tonight. They were on.
I'll be watching EB as well. Well, I won't be. I'll have it on my phone, but I'll be doing the Sebring and Academy of Urban Scholars game where Coach Seidel will be the scorebook guy, and I'll be texting him for all the information down for who's got the leading scorer and things of that nature. So what is this? The Windy Billy. The Windy Billy just blows like the wind. Back and forth. Paul, who are you rooting for? Are you going to even watch this game?
I have it on right now.
Is that why you're lagging so bad?
Yep.
No.
What
happened?
Jamie, who are you rooting for? Are you watching it?
I don't even know if I'm going to watch that much. Carolina comes on at 4. They're taking on Texas in the Maui Championship. But if I had to root for one, probably the Steelers from a pure player standpoint because the games are getting pushed back. But there's this little part in me where a lot of my friends that are Steelers fans, I despise them for the way they act. So it'd be nice to see RG3 just go out there and hang like a 40 burger on him.
Ty, how about you? You're Patriots fan, so this is not a good scenario for you either.
No, it's not, and I don't want, if the 2007 Patriots couldn't get the undefeated season done, I really don't want the Steelers to do it. So I'm rooting Ravens
AB,
all the
How
way.
about you?
3 and out for a series.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Paul.
Paul.
For who?
I really don't care. If it was up to me, I'd be with Jamie. I'd be watching UNC. But I guess for the sake of, because they're closer to me, Pittsburgh. But outside of that, I could really care less. If Pittsburgh won, it'd just be cool to see someone go undefeated in your lifetime. But then again, I'm a Cowboys fan, and that kind of pains me to say. So go Tar Heels.
Was any of this handled right from your perspective? We'll start with you, EB, because you had the last laugh on the previous question. I mean, did the NFL handle this right?
No, dude. I think I was one of the first ones to say when this all came out, like, treat it like an injury. If someone's out, then it's next guy up. You expanded the practice squads, but what's a reason for expanding the practice squads if you run into this situation and you're not utilizing it? So outside of that, look, if I don't care, even if it was the Cowboys, we don't have Dak Prescott, but we'll say CeeDee Lamb or whoever, picking the scraps off the bones of what team we have left. If they get COVID, it's on them. Well, next person up. Well, that's prolonging this, I feel, just sets a bad precedent for the rest of the league. Like, because now you're saying, well, it technically wasn't your fault, so we're gonna try to make ends meet. Which I'm not saying it's their fault, but you have these backups and all these other rules. Utilize them.
Paul, do you feel like this was a well-played card by the NFL? And here's a twist for you. Did you feel like people were rooting for this game not to happen?
I think it was a bad play by the NFL for the simple fact that they have now affected 2 other games. So now you've affected, the Steelers are supposed to play on Sunday. Now they're playing Monday, and then they've moved the Baltimore game again too. So it's like you've just delayed things and messed up 2 more weeks of games, and it's a bad look because they've made it seem like this game was more important than any other game that we've had where there's been some COVID issues. I mean, everybody's brought it up, but look at poor Denver. I mean, they had a guy from the practice squad who had to come out and be the quarterback who completed 1 pass. In 1 pass, that's all he completed. So it's like,
technically
you
too, but what was the other team?
Is it because these 2 teams are, traditionally? What's that?
Just laid out Roethlisberger. I know that. That ain't good.
So technically, he completed 2. One was just to the other team.
Here's my beef with the NFL is they just don't know what they're doing. They just don't have any idea they have no plan, it seems like, because they're going to go ahead and say, hey, Denver, you have to play a wide receiver on the practice squad who hasn't played quarterback since his freshman year in college, and he only played half of the season, and then turn around and postpone the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Ravens. When just put their backups in, like EB said, treat it like an injury, the next man up. If that guy has Trace contract, then he don't play. You just move to the next guy, and then you find a lineman who plays quarterback if you have to, whatever it takes. But this is what it is, and you got to play. And if you want to play through it, which they all committed to do so at the beginning of the year, so these are what should have been placed ahead of time. Not we're trying to figure it out as we go.
Aaron chiming in saying the NFL do it for the ratings since it's a big game. I would agree with that, except for they pushed it to 3:40 so they can light the freaking Christmas tree at 8 o'clock. It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense.
Showed you how much pull the NFL has. They lost to a 3.
I guess my question is like you're right. I mean, the Christmas tree isn't even going to have people around it. Like, usually it's a lot of people and there's a lot of anticipation. There's going to be nobody there because if you actually want to visit the Christmas tree, like after tonight, you have to make a reservation. Yes. To watch a Christmas tree, you have to make a reservation.
Was this game going to be on NBC on Sunday?
Yes, and Thursday
in the afternoon.
Yes.
So they really wanted to keep it on the network. That was their.
Well, the network owns the rights to it. And they already sold the ads to it. So, like, right now they're playing a Hyundai ad. That was already in place. And they'd have to give that money back if the game didn't happen. And, of course, if the game didn't happen, nobody would get paid. And then all of a sudden there would be grievances everywhere. So it's really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of dominoes that kind of fell around this game. But that said, I feel like they picked the worst available card on the table. They just kind of said, oh, yeah, let's just play on a Wednesday. I mean, they gave Baltimore every opportunity to get their guys back from COVID. And it is what it is, right? But Baltimore kept – I mean, this was the worst COVID case in professional sports history of COVID. I mean, in the last 12 months, whatever it's been, this was the worst case. But according to multiple reports, they just didn't care. They just kept doing what they were doing. And it just went around the locker room or around the facility. And I think 22 was the number that I saw, that people that actually had positive COVID cases. Jamie, if that's your scenario, if you're on that team, there's 22 and there's 53 on the roster. I mean, how does that is that concerning to you as a player, as a staff member?
I think definitely being in that environment, it would be concerning because nobody's going out and asking to get COVID. Nobody wants to get it. Although people approach it in different ways, there's nobody asking to get COVID. But I want to say for the Broncos, as Jerry Jones said, it's no different as having Ben DiNucci as your starting quarterback. Basically the same thing as that practice squad guy. And then this is kind of my look at it from the outside. I mean, I didn't go too in depth on what the Ravens were doing. I didn't hear any just blatant wrongdoings like the Denver quarterback situation. They were all together in a meeting just without their mask on. So it makes sense. They violated protocols, so you got to get them out of the building. And that was the day before the game that they pulled the plug on them. If the Ravens were doing what they were supposed to be doing and positive cases just keep popping up, I feel like you can't in good conscience put Ravens out there who you don't know have had a positive case yet but still could have it. It doesn't make sense to put them out there on the field. So I see why the NFL tried to delay it the way it did, but they pissed a lot of people off. And Steelers fans and Steelers players alike have a right to be pissed off.
I am. I'll be honest. And worst case scenario for me was hearing Podesta having to talk about it. Steelers fans having the right to be pissed off. And I'm like, listen, in one sentence he's talking about the Steelers fans having a right to be pissed off. The next sentence he says the Bills are going to beat the Steelers' ass in 2 weeks. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, like they're not. They're just, I mean, you got Connors out, Pouncey's out, and Tuitt is out for the Steelers. They're resting right now, essentially.
I got to go, fellas.
Bye. Good luck tonight.
Got to make sure I'm home in time to watch a Christmas tree.
Good luck tonight, buddy.
Ty, wake up.
Yes.
That's EB. And again, you can watch tonight's game between the Salem Lady Quakers and the Poland Lady Bulldogs right here on YSN. That game starts at 7 o'clock. Anthony Hartwig will have the call, and we expect that one to be all that is advertised and a little bit more. So make sure you're tuning in for that one. And, of course, the other game we have tonight, Sebring versus Academy. What is it? Academy of Urban Scholars. Yeah, so the Hawks will be taking on the Trojans tonight. I'll have the call on that. Guys, that's going to put a wrap on it. Any final thoughts on the shut up, Paul. Any other people have any thoughts on where we're at right now with COVID? Shots at Roger Goodell? Well, here's their final shot. Why can't the Lions get COVID? Because they can't do anything right, Jeff. Welcome to being a Lions fan, right?
I feel like they dropped the ball on this one. They should have had if they should have just thought ahead of things. Like what's the worst case scenario? What would make a team completely? We have to move a game, right? And then what would make it that we have to cancel a game? And they just I don't think they have any idea of what that looks like to them. They just really thought that there was no possibility that we were gonna. That's to me. That's kind of how it feels. There's no way. We don't even need to think about that because there's no way that's going to happen to us. And it has.
Damn it.
Put a number on COVID cases. If 20 people on your team have it, then the game's canceled. and you forfeit. What's the repercussions of having it? Do we try to play it? Do we add an extra week at the back end of the year, like a bye week for every team to just say like? But I'm just saying you need to think about something. You can't just not have a plan, and they just didn't have a plan.
Yeah, I've said it before. I'll say it again. The OHSA had the best plan when it came to COVID. You can't play, forfeit, done. There's no moving it around. There's no. I mean, that's it. It's tough nuts. So. Let's
the
go
difference between the OHSA is like you have other sports following it. The NFL is a business, so they need to. It's a whole different world. Not that OSHA is not a business, but these guys are professional. That's where they make all their money, sports and advertising. There's so much money involved that I think
also no players union.
Right. That's
players
also true too.
Yeah, the players union's the big one.
Yeah, and they have a hard time negotiating it. While we just negotiated a new CBA and a new CBA is coming up. So.
Did Ebron freaking fumble again?
Good.
No, he didn't. So it's 3rd and goal. That's going to do it for the big part of the show. And as always, we close out our show with
the goal and one.
Shut up. With G. Burbick Farms, what's your beef? Ty, since you've been quiet and taking naps, let's start with you. What's your beef?
Still going to be with the cancellation of basketball games recently. I was supposed to have a game tonight, and that got canceled on me. So we're going to be looking towards tomorrow. Game going on tomorrow. I got games the next 3 days, so hopefully we are able to fire away with all 3 of them, and we have something going on. But fingers crossed right now going forward.
Love seeing that. Mac, what's your beef?
Yeah, I wish I was doing some basketball games too for LeBray, and fortunately Trumbull County shut down. My beef is all these 500 people that's outside my house right now just doing nothing. They're having union meetings, which means basically they're sitting there taking a smoke break. So do something and then move past my house and do other stuff because I can't even let the dogs out because my dog wants to kill people. It likes to eat people.
Roethlisberger.
Yep, I know what your beef is.
Yep. Muntz, what's your beef?
So my beef is actually praise. So now that it looks like I'm back on track and I'm not delayed that much anymore. But the NE8 had its first team and selections that came out. So all those boys and girls that were on the NE8 first team, second team, players of the year, congratulations to all them. So they got a lot of hard work for them to get that fall season in, and they did. And the accolades that those kids got, congratulations to them. So,
Quincy.
Yeah, my beef is I got a beef and a side to go with my beef, and it's going to start with the great University of Kentucky. Their basketball team is learning how to play basketball. They I don't know if any of you watched it, but when you're 3 of 20 from 3, you don't shoot threes. You go to the lane, you get layup. But no, they still chuck it, and they lose. They lose by 3 to Kansas, and that's frustrating. And the side with it is Robert Switka, as always, deciding to give me a call and tell me how great the University of Texas is at basketball. Coming at a historical program in Texas, come on, that's a joke. I'm about to get their ass kicked by UNC, and that pains me to say that. But go
Spartans.
Future topic: Commissioner of Baseball turning jerseys into billboards. I'll have to look into that a little bit more.
That's a talk every year. They talk about that every year.
What's the concept? I'm missing something.
They want to put. Remember, they put the. So by the way, they put the Nike on there last year because Nike bailed them out. That's why.
Got it. Okay, now I understand. All right, Jamie, what's your beef?
So my beef, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's Spotify does this thing where they show like all the songs you've played, your most played artist. I don't care. Stop putting on your Snapchat story, your Twitter, your Instagram story. I don't care. I don't care what music you listen to. I don't care who sings it. Stop showing me because it makes no difference to me. University of Texas basketball is trash. Always has been trash. It's overrated. Let's go Tar Heels.
All right. I dig it. My beef, even though I could throw out the Roethlisberger interception on the 1 yard line, I could do that. But I choose a little bit of praise here today because the totals are all added up, and we came up with a final tally of everything we did for the 2020 football season. And I'll tell you what, the number is going to be very surprising to a lot of people, and I can't wait to reveal it. It's a combined effort. Yes, YSN a big part of that. The school's a huge part of that. But you at home who tuned in, who bought the pay-per-views week after week after week, this is all because of you. So we want to say thank you before we even get the number out there, because if it wasn't for you, we would not be able to give this amount of money back to the schools and our communities and our families. So thank you so very much. We greatly appreciate it. Can't wait to make you part of the announcement. And, of course, that's going to be coming out very, very soon. So we will with that, we are going to take a knee on this episode of the YSN Power Hour. Until next time, tomorrow from 3 to 4 right here on YSN and YSN's Facebook channel. We will see you guys later. Go Steelers.